Hey guys, Shadow Reviewer here. Today I'm looking at Family Guy Season 4, Episodes 25 to 27. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. Today I'm looking at Family Guy Season 4, Episode 25, You May Kiss the Guy Who Receives. So I thought the episode was very mediocre. So Adam West has spent taxpayer money to buy himself a golden statue of a frog. And let's just say the public is not liking that. And although he does get one funny bit when someone hits him in the nose, my god, I'm a tomato. He decides to distract from the problem by banning gay marriage, which is a real problem, as Brian's cousin Jasper, probably one of the most gentle characters, has met him and his boyfriend Ricardo have decided to get married, but since they're in America, they can't get married. And Brian, being the best cousin ever, decides to try and sign petitions to go up against Mae West on banning gay marriage. And through one of the most memorable moments from Quagmire when Brian asks him, "Oh, come on, two hairs can make a hole without a hole. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ting, tang, walla, bang. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ting, tang, walla, bang." Here is my problem with it. Everything goes downhill from here. I mean, eventually he gets the 10,000 signatures, only for Chris to burn them. Why is Chris doing this? So he can finally get what he wants from a girl. And let's say it's just something that inappropriate. And this is where I hate Chris. He was very gentle for the first 3 seasons of the series, but this is the one episode I hate this kid. Absolutely selfish. And he never once apologizes for his actions. Horrible. And Brian has to do all of that stuff again. He and Adam West decides just to toss them out the window. Yet another awful moment. And while the standoff is very intense, you get why Brian's doing it. He loves his cousin and he thinks gay marriage should be legal. And where I'm split on is Lois as well. I mean, she thinks that gay people should love each other. You know, she's all into that. But when it's marriage, she's like, I'm putting my foot down. But I'll give her this. When she sees that Brian really is passionate about this, she's like, yeah, okay, I now see it from your point of view. And it's honestly a nice moment, and I do give West credit, he eventually backs down as well and legalizes gay marriage again. So yeah, while Lois and May Adam West learn their lessons, Chris does not, and I hate him for it. So yeah, as you can see, I'm not very liking this episode much. Although Jasper is the best character in the entire episode, with Brian in a close second. So yeah, pretty mediocre episode. Today I'm looking at Family Guy Season 4, Episode 26, Petergeist. So yeah, as you can tell from this title, it's pretty much based on the 1982 horror film Poltergeist, one of the earliest classics of the 80s horror genre, one that's been parodied everywhere. And yeah, there are a few obvious jokes. I mean, you know where this is going, and all because Peter took the skull from an Indian burial site. Yeah, you pretty much know where it's going. Although it does have one funny bit after Stewie gets sucked into the wormhole thing. It turns out the way to to get out of it is through Meg's butt. And yeah, the Griffins exploited in the stupidest way possible. Peter even gets a few laughs. Hey, looks like I made a wrong turn at Albuquerque. I mean, poor Meg. Yeah, it's just there. Although, the Lord of the Rings parody does get a few laughs. So Chris gets attacked by a tree. Herbert said, "You shall not pass." And, the hole opens up, and it's pretty much the opening of the Two Towers. And honestly, that's a really clever film reference. So while it does have a few funny moments, the episode's just meh. It's just there. Meh. Today I'm looking at Family Guy Season 4, Episode 27, The Griffin Family History. And I thought this episode was not bad. So the Griffin family find out they've been burglarized, and they hide in the panic shelter. And throughout the entire ordeal, Peter decides to tell the story of the Griffin family history, starting with the caveman era. Caveman Peter's trying to invent a wheel until he gets, well, Caveman Lois into it, and it sells. But it is a little funny. Then we get a character who was in a previous episode back, Nate Griffin. He was taken from his home and lived on a farm as a given who he is, yeah. So he falls in love with his boss's daughter, and they start a secret family together. And yeah, it's kind of a sweet family, and it's nice good continuity from the previous episode Nate Griffin was mentioned. So yeah, I'll give him that. Oh, and the boss is obviously being based off Carter, so that's a little funny. Then of course you got the 20s with Willie Black Eye Griffin as pretty much the Charlie Chaplin portrayal in this one. And yeah, it's about as stupidly funny as it gets. And then you got the 40s version with, set during the Second World War. And that's all I'm gonna say about it, because it's goddamn uncomfortable. But hearing about that stuff is legit funny. But Meg getting the short end of the stick after being captured by the burglars and filed for harassment charges. The Griffins don't even lift a finger to see if they've to stop Meg from getting taken to jail. Oh, that's just bad. And it does lead to my favorite scene in the episode, the debate about whether a movie should be a classic or not. Now, here is my debate on it. What do you think is considered a classic? Now, for a lot of people, their favorite movie of all time could be like Citizen Kane. People regard it as one of the greatest classical movies of all time, Casablanca, all that stuff. For it turns out, Peter Griffin is not a big fan of The Godfather. And we get a pretty good 2-minute scene with them trying to convince Peter that it's one of the greatest. And I totally get Peter's point. It just bored him a little bit. And I'm one of those people that's, when I look at a classic, I'm like, is it really a classic? But then I watch and I'm like, that was just awful. And there are some movies out there that I don't think are classics. I'm on a hot take with this. But I get Peter's point. How there are some movies that people may seem to hate, but I actually like. Hell, if you watch Dead Meat's channel, I love The Exorcist. He's not a big fan of it. I'm totally okay with that. So yeah, I thought the Godfather debate was actually a realistic and honestly a pretty good debate. Even when they're close to death. Good time to talk about it, Peter. So yeah, I thought the episode was pretty okay. I thought the Meg stuff was predictable and kind of sad, really. with the Griffin family history and the Godfather debate, that was pretty good stuff. So yeah, pretty solid. And that's the end of the video, folks. Hope you like it. Give me a thumbs up, like and comment and subscribe, and I hope to get more videos out like this. Speaking of which, tomorrow I'll be looking at Family Guy Season 4, Episodes 28 to 30. Keep an eye out for that video. Until then, I'm the Shadow Reviewer, signing off.